I think journalists everywhere want to tip their hat to the White House because they just kind of forced something amazing to happen. They got Fox News to come out defending CNN,
Wow.
and they came together as news people, and it all happened because of CNN reporter Caitlin Collins getting shut out of a press event for asking these questions.
Jada, thank you.
Michael Cohen betrayed you, Mr. President?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. President,
Thank you.
did Michael Cohen betray you?
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Mr. President, are you worried about what Michael Cohen is going to say to
Thank you.
prosecutors? Are you worried about what is on the other tapes, Mr. President?
Thank you very much, everyone.
Why is Michael Cohen not accepting your resignation?
Oy.
So
Wow.
the White House claimed that the questions were inappropriate. Now, the question is, do you think that they were inappropriate? Was she any louder than anybody else in that room?
I don't think she was as loud as some of the other people screaming.
They weren't inappropriate because she was the pool reporter, and that means she's representing all of the networks. And so she has to ask the questions of the day, just like we talk about the hot topics of the day. What did we talk about? We talked about the Cohen tapes. We talk about anything that is current. And that was her job. That is her job. She's a very tough reporter. She's a fair reporter. And perhaps they didn't like the questions, but that's not what our democracy is about. Our democracy is about asking the tough questions.
But they banned her, right?
Sorry?
They banned her.
Well, they banned her from an event. They said she was not
Yeah.
invited.
To the Rose Garden, right?
Right,
To a Rose
to the
Garden,
Rose Garden.
open press event.
But apparently, though, there was some question as to whether the word banned was used. Well, when someone disinvites you somewhere, it kind of feels like it's implied. It's
When
not
you get
saying you can't
called-
come ever, forever, but you said don't come here.
Isn't the guy who told her that not to come back, this guy Shine? Isn't that Bill Shine, who was basically the one who covered up for Roger Ailes and the rest of them at Fox?
Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly. So,
Well, and he
you know.
knows better. He came from Fox.
But
He
why
knows
does
what
he
news
have a job at
organizations
the White
are
House
about.
if he couldn't even protect the chickens from the wolves at Fox?
Well, he wasn't trying to protect
Yeah.
the chickens.
Well, speaking of
Exactly.
banning the media, the New York Times report. I'm
No,
sorry.
go ahead.
Because this is another one of those stories. So if you have anything to say on the last one, get it out now.
Just that Sunny's right. Caitlin Collins is a rising star at CNN right now, and that she's not exactly Jim Acosta. I would have
She's
understood it
conservative,
more.
actually.
I don't know her
Fairly
politics, which is
conservative.
a good place for a
Well, what's
journalist
wrong
to
with
be.
Jim Acosta?
Well, there's so I don't like Jim Acosta's tactics in front of the White House. I think he's sort of a show pony that's always trying to move for the cameras. She is not someone I would put in that same category, which is why it was particularly surprising to me that they chose her. I think it's a bad look all the way around, like you said, when you have Fox News and Brett Baier coming out saying we have to stand in solidarity with journalism. Journalists, when you're the principal and you're working for the principal, journalists suck. They're the enemy. And you have to decide how you're going to control the messaging, who you're going to speak to, in what context, and it's totally normal. The problem is these people know nothing about messaging. They know nothing about controlling the narrative, and they're just saying that all press everywhere can't have any access,
I have
which
to say,
can't be the same going forward.
they're not the enemy if you're telling the truth.
I'm just saying,
Well,
if you're
president
working
would say
in
though what Megan's
That they're
saying,
the
which is
enemy? I don't
not,
think
no,
so.
not using
If
the word
you're-
enemy. They would say they always butted heads with the press
Yes.
because you're calling
President
them out.
Obama has been honest
Yeah.
about that the press was very
the
difficult with
press
him,
just
but
did,
he met
everyone
with
did.
them.
There's
though.
not a president in my remembrance of any that I was alive for that felt the press really understood them.
Sure.
And that's not the press's job. The press's job is to tell us what's happening.
back.
But he
to
never
tell us
actually
what's going
had-
on. That's their job.
But this guy
nature-
never actually has a press conference the way other presidents have.
They're uncomfortable,
He-
boy.
because he doesn't know the answers to the questions. And when he does know the answers, like, what, do you think that that you created were treasonous when you said that you backed Putin against our NSA and our intelligence communities? The answer is yes to that. He doesn't want to answer that question, and
Didn't
that's
he
why he
have a
doesn't want to do it.
Gaggle in front of the White House recently for an hour. It's not that he's not talking
think he
to
only
the
met
press.
with
He only
very
takes
specific.
questions he wants.
Only specific.
Yeah.
But the problem with that is, and everybody has an issue with the press because
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what side you're on, they're never on your side, it seems.
Yeah.
Because they're telling you what's going on. That's their job. They're not supposed to be telling you how to think. They're not supposed to be telling you what you're supposed to be doing. They're just there to give you the information. That's one of the things that we always say keeps democracy going. So it's important no matter what side you're on. It's important no matter what side you're on.
And good journalists are fair.
Yes,
you know.
most of them are. And I wonder sometimes if you become bombastic, with the press secretary or whatever, and this narrative of that you are awful starts because someone doesn't like what you're asking about. If this is not a detriment to
must
us,
be. It must be.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it has to be because we need to have that transparency and we need to have access to the facts and then we get to make the decision. What I do like about what happened yesterday is that all the other networks got together
they
because
all
when
protected
we
each
first
other.
started talking about this, I remember saying, if one reporter asks a valid question and the president shuts the person down and says that's fake news,
should keep
the next
asking it.
reporter needs to
Should ask
ask the
again.
same
That's
exact
right.
question.
They should.
And that's the solidarity that I'd like to see with journalists, and I finally
This
saw
was
it.
refreshing
I
to have
finally
this
saw it.
But I mean, I have to still say, I take issue with the word enemy because Trump goes out there and says that the press
Have
is
you
the
seen
enemy
Almost Famous?
of
you know
the
in Almost Famous when the main character Cameron Crowe is like, I'm the enemy because he's the Rolling Stone reporter reporting on the band. It is an adversarial relationship. You cannot be friends with journalists when you're on a campaign or you're representing a principal.
Well,
They are not
I
people
object to
be
the word
friends with.
enemy. I think it's a very, very volatile word. He's going around saying, don't believe what they say. They are the enemy. No, they're not the enemy. They're American citizens doing their jobs.
That's not
Stop calling them the enemy.